Hi guys, Katie Mild. Welcome to this week's Money Minute. So today I want to talk to you about financial analysis paralysis. Countless studies, including those done through the Harvard Business Review, show that more choice is not always better, which is counterintuitive to what we see in our society today. This phenomenon is called the paradox of choice. A breakthrough study in 2000, led by psychologists Sheena Iyengar and Mark Lepper, highlighted this phenomenon with jelly and jam. In their study, they presented shoppers at an upscale food market with a display table with 24 varieties of jam. Now, those who sampled the spread received a coupon for $1 off any of the jam, so there was an incentive piece. On another day, rather than 24 jars of jelly, shoppers saw a similar table, except there were only 6 choices presented, not 24. Now, what was interesting, the larger display attracted more shoppers, more people came to it. But when it came time to actually purchase, where the rubber meets the road, the actual action step, it didn't work out like they thought it would. More people came to the larger display, but when it came time to purchase, only 1/10 of those people who went to the larger table with 24 choices, only 1/10 of them were as likely to buy as those who saw the smaller display, even though they were presented an extra incentive with a coupon. So what happened? That table had the larger display. They had a coupon incentive. It was a more attractive display, more going on. Quite simply, it was too overwhelming. When shoppers were given 24 choices, their subconscious brains began to shut down. And the easier thing to do in that moment was simply to walk away and not make a purchase at all. Whereas the shoppers who were presented with only 6 choices found it much easier to make a connection to the call to action, which is to actually purchase the jelly. By paring down choices, the psychologist found in the study that it was much easier to reach a decision point and follow through with the action. So what does this have to do with your money? When we're faced with too many options with our money, quite simply, the same biological response kicks in. Let's take investing, for instance. If you know you need to open an IRA, for example. Now, if you know that it's something you should do and you start researching and you're talking to everybody and you're taking advice from lots and lots of sources, if you're looking at all the stocks you can invest in, all the different funds, all the different avenues you can approach, it's very easy for your brain to go, this is unfamiliar, I don't feel safe, and it starts to shut down. And inevitably, the natural response to that is to self-preserve. And self-preserve means you kick the can down the road, you don't take any action, you don't make a choice, and you walk away. Now, your subconscious brain feels great in the moment, but that can be financially devastating because if you're continuously punting important critical decisions down the road, nothing gets done and you lose that critical time. So, when you feel financial analysis paralysis setting in, what can you do? Here are a few tips to get you over that decision-making hump and get you on the road to action. The first tip is set a goal, an achievable short-term goal with key target points and milestones. So again, let's go back to the IRA goal. If your goal is to simply open an IRA, set a time limit. Give yourself a week, a month at most. Make it short-term, put it on your calendar and stick to it and know I need to just open this account within 1 month. And then break it down into the goals, the sub-goals that need to be done to achieve that overarching goal. One of the first sub-goals will be, well, I need to pick an institution. Is it going to be Fidelity? Is it going to be Vanguard? Is it going to be some other banking institution? That's the first sub-goal. You have to pick the institution who you'll be investing with. The second sub-goal will be take the 15-20 minutes to actually physically set up a profile and open an account. The third one will be deciding on a contribution amount. How much will you set forth every month and then get it on an auto schedule so that in future months you don't have to think about it. Those are 4 sub-goals to opening an IRA, and your plan is to do it within 1 week, 1 month, whatever time limit you set up. When we set a goal and break it down into little action steps with a relatively quick deadline, it gets your brain in motion. It gets you starting down the path of thinking action. And it's much easier to tackle a sub-goal than sometimes the larger overarching goal. The second step to get over analysis paralysis, select and organize your key stats. So if you're looking at your financial life, decide what's important to you. Are you trying to retire by a certain year? Are you trying to have X amount set aside in a savings account for let's say a bathroom renovation or a vacation down the road? What are your key financial goals? And then what are the stats that are going to support it? Stats can be percentage of your income saved per month. It can be a percentage increase of net worth. But pick the key 2 or 3 financial stats that are important to you and relate them directly to your goal. And then get to work. And then the last piece of advice, the last tip that I would give on this, you just have to start already. So often, the reason we have analysis paralysis, it's too many choices, and it's also a fear that we're somehow going to mess things up, that we're going to make a mistake. Go ahead and tell yourself from the outset, give yourself permission to make mistakes. Here's the bottom line. You're human. We all make mistakes. It's going to happen. The key is how quickly can you recover. So the quicker you can pull the trigger, get in there and get something done, the quicker you can decide, yes, this worked. No, it did not work. And if it did not work, how can you pivot? How can you adjust course? The key is just to take action, be willing to learn, and give yourself permission from the outset to know it will not be perfect. You will make mistakes, and that is okay. And then the last thing I'll just say on this, when you've decided your goal, when you set your course of action, and when you've decided I will be taking these steps today to learn from them, then you've got to block out the noise. Once you have set your strategy, you have to give it time to implement so you can learn from it. So get moving, take those action steps, and block out any of the other advice that is not serving you so you can get moving on your plan. So I hope you like today's content. Tell me in the comments below, when have you had a moment of financial analysis paralysis, and what did you do to get over it? If you like the content I'm putting out, please ring the bell to subscribe, comment below. I'm always listening. And in the meantime, have a great weekend.